Welcome to Social Wi-Fi's October product update video. And I'm going to take you through the new functions that we have in the Social Wi-Fi dashboard for you to use right away. So let's get straight to it. I'm going to go into my beachfront restaurant location in my dashboard here. The first thing I'm going to show you is that you can now add additional questions to the login process. So if we go to the user data tab, and you'll see towards the top, we have a new button called additional custom data. And if we click on this, we can see that we can add a question. I already have a yes, no question in here, but let's go ahead and see what other options we have. We have yes, no, but we can also ask for text input. So we can turn this on as active. And if we only want numerical numbers, we can. And we can also dictate what the minimum and maximum length of reply would be. So let's say this needs to be between a 3 and a 4. And we want to ask people what their room number is on the login process. So we can hit create here. And now we have the text input section added. But now we need to add the question for this. So if I click on add, I select the language version that I want for this. And now I can add my question. And I can click create. And now what I can do is I can add this question to the login process. So if I go to my splash pages, I have a few places where I can add this, but the most popular place is to add it onto the pre-login page. I already have one set up here. If I go in and edit this, let's remove this and re-add it. But if I go to my other widget section, drag across my questions, I now have the widget that will ask this question. So if I click save on this, you'll see here on the editor, it has the yes and no example. But if I go back to the test login process, we will see that that actually appears as the field. And now I can go ahead and say that my room is 1021, click submit, and it will allow me through to the next phase of the login process. So this is a really nice way of getting more information about your guests and putting that into your database. That data will become available on the Excel download of the data that we capture. But just to highlight, if we want to instead put a yes, no question, I can go and make that active right here. And now let's add the question again for the English version language pack and ask, are you staying with us for business? If I click create on this and go back to the homepage and test the login process once again, I now have both questions, one stacked above the other, and I can put in my room number and I can say, yes, I'm staying with you for business, and click submit. And all this information, like I say, will be available on the user data export once users have gone through the login process. You can also add this question to other parts of the login process too. So on the login page itself, you can add this question to the email login form by toggling on and off the add survey question here. So that's another place where you can put this question, though we would encourage you to utilize it on the pre-login page. So we're now gathering more data for you about your customers in the form of these questions. There are many use cases for this. I've given you just a couple of examples right there. Let's take a look at what else we have new in the product this month. So we have enhanced our integrations. And if you go to the integrations tab, this will be changing visually in November. But for the moment, if you go into the remarketing section, we've always had Facebook Pixel. We've always had the Google remarketing cookie, but now we've added in Snapchat Pixel and TikTok remarketing pixel as well. So if you wanted to add those, you could just click add, paste in your unique remarketing code, hit create, and then we're going to start dropping that pixel onto people's devices as they interact with our Wi-Fi system, allowing you to then target those people in your relevant ad management profiles for TikTok, Snapchat, in the same way that you would with Facebook and Google historically. So more enhancement of a very basic function within Social Wi-Fi's dashboard, but it's going to really enhance your paid advertising spend on social media. Other integrations, we now have a GetResponse integration. So if you're using GetResponse in your marketing efforts, you can now connect the Social Wi-Fi database with that. And likewise, one of our most popular requests over the last few months has been MailChimp, we've now added an integration with MailChimp. So that's going to be a real-time update of your MailChimp database when people log into the Wi-Fi system. So some really exciting updates there on the integrations that we have, boosting our advertising, remarketing functions, but also the data push to other systems and CRMs. And if you're using another CRM and we're not integrated with it, let us know. And then we can consider it for future development and see which ones are most popular. Okay, what else do we have? Let's go to the splash pages. I'm going to go down to the welcome page. And if I go to edit this page, I now have some new options on my elements section. And you will see that I have a WhatsApp and a Messenger button right here. So if I drag across two cells here, for example, let's drag across WhatsApp. Let's drag across Facebook Messenger. We are giving you the opportunity to encourage your customers and guests to engage with you on these channels. So if I click on the WhatsApp cell, you'll see on the right-hand side, I can add in a WhatsApp number. So you would do that in +44 format for the UK and so on and so forth. And you can change the call to action on this button as well, for example. And the same applies with Facebook Messenger. You can put in the URL of your fan page, and these will just effectively act as redirection URLs. If people are using this on mobile, it will open the Messenger app. It will open up their WhatsApp. We're very big on using instant messengers as a form of service communication. You may notice in the dashboard, we have a tab with regards to a new product we developed called Chat Pilot. And this is all about using instant messenger and WhatsApp for Business as a customer service tool. So be sure to check that out. But essentially, the key development regarding this in Social WiFi is the ability to add the call to action, redirection links on your welcome page. And for those of you that speak French, we have also added in French language pack for the Social WiFi dashboard. So if you go to your profile and edit this, you can select French from the drop down, click save, go back to your dashboard, refresh the page, and the dashboard will now be available to you in French language. However, I personally do not speak French, so I'm going to change that back right away to English, so I know what I'm looking at. But for those of you in French-speaking countries, that will hopefully be a great help to you. Okay, and switching now to another client dashboard, because I want to show you some things with statistics running through it. We're going to go to the statistics tab. Going to the review section, we now have data for the all-time performance of your review gathering. So we can see since the beginning of using the Social Wi-Fi service, how many requests for reviews have been sent, how many have been opened, a full breakdown of that. And you can also download an infographic of this for your social media channels. So you can go ahead and download a graphic that you could share on your social media channels, for example, to demonstrate the quality of the service that you provide and that it's been verified by your existing customers. If we go to the Users tab in the Social Wi-Fi dashboard and scroll down a little bit, we will start to see information about the genders of people using the service. Of course, we don't get the gender from everybody that logs in, but where we do, we're now recording that and demonstrating it within the dashboard. And a little bit further up the page on the right-hand side, you can see we're breaking down the percentage of returning users within the time period that you have selected. So in this example here, this is the last 30 days of logins. And we can see that 49% of people have logged into the Wi-Fi service during that period have previously been to your venue and logged in. So a great way for you to start monitoring how many people coming to your venues are new customers and how many are returning. And in the example of this business, almost 50% returning customers. So they must be doing something right. The other thing to note as well is if we go to the devices tab this time, although this is the same across all tabs, if we take a shorter time range, so if I take the last couple of days here on this venue, we break down hour by hour the data and the statistics of when people were logging in. This is now updated to show the local time zone. Historically, these times were always based on UTC, but we have updated this to reflect it for your local time. And also, when you go into the user data tab and we're showing the date and time of people's logins, that is also reflected to show the local time zone and no longer UTC. Another place where we've enhanced our statistics is if we go to the mailing section, and if I go into email automation, we are now showing a percentage of returning recipients after receiving a specific email communication. So we can start tracking what's the return rate of customers off the back of your marketing efforts. So for example, we have the happy birthday email. 10% of people that received that email have come back and logged into the Wi-Fi since receiving that. We don't necessarily know if they came back because of that email, but it's an interesting thing to track. The welcome email is performing extremely well. In this case, 24% of people are coming back from that. So it's going to give you an additional data point for you to measure the performance of social Wi-Fi and your marketing efforts. And finally, one other thing that we've released this month is the ability for you to download monthly reports showing the performance of the Wi-Fi service in your venue. If you go to your project level, on the project details tab, we have statistics summary, and you can select the month and the year which you would like to receive a report for, and you can click send to my email. And a few minutes later, we'll drop an email into your mailbox showing you a breakdown of the statistical performance of social Wi-Fi for your business as a project over the course of that month. So lots of new things released this month. We're not at the end of October yet, but we wanted to create a video and update our clients on what is new. If you have any questions, reach out to your account manager or reach out to us at support@socialwifi.com, and we'll be able to get back to you and help you with any questions that you have about these new functions.